In this video, we're looking at exam-style questions based on the topic of quadratic equations. If you feel like you need to pause at any point to try the question first, feel free to do that and restart when you're ready to check your answers. If you do need a copy of this, I'll leave the link in the description to my email. Please email me and I can happily send it over along with a mark scheme. So question 1, not actually quadratics here, but we're just collecting like terms, so it's still within our algebra area. So we've got 3 lots of y. How many x's? So 2x plus 5x gives us 7x. And we've got our minus 4 plus 7, so minus 4 plus 7 gives us positive 3. So our final answer, we're just going to collect all of those individual terms. 3y plus 7x plus 3. There's an easy 1 mark there. Okay. Factorise. So factorising, we're taking something out. We want some brackets in there somewhere. So there's definitely some brackets. Now, what have these two terms got in common? So 2x squared minus 4x. We've definitely got an x in both of them. We can see that. Can 2 and 4 be divided by anything in common? So they could both be divided by 2 actually, can't they? So now if we divide 2x squared by 2x, we're left with just an x. So you know x times x gives us x squared. We're still going to have that minus, that's not changed. So how many 2x's make 4x? Well, 2 lots of that. So our answer there is 2x. And then brackets x minus 2. Okay, expand and simplify. So we need to imagine this is one part and this is a separate part. So we're going to keep that 11 the same. Okay, so minus 3 times x. Minus 3x. Minus 3 times 2. Now be careful. It's not 3 times 2. It's minus 3 times 2. So minus 6. Okay. So we've definitely got that minus 3x. Now 11 minus 6x gives us 5. So our answer there is 5 minus 3x. Our last part, expand and simplify. So this is where we're going to use FOIL. So we're going to make sure we do all of the brackets. If you prefer, which is the way I actually do prefer, let's put x minus 6 there. 3x plus 7. Okay, 3x times x is 3x squared. X times 7 is 7x. 3x times minus 6 will give us minus 18x. Minus 6 times 7. 6 times 7 is 42. Keep that negative in there. We need to add all of those up. So we've got 3x squared. Okay, 7x take away 18x. We're going to start with our 18, maybe add 7, or the other way around, whatever you prefer. Anyway, minus 11x. Then minus 42. When it says simplify, it just means collect those like terms there, so the coefficients of x. On to question 2, we've got simultaneous equations here. One of them is a quadratic with the x squared. One of them is a linear equation. Okay, so what can we do here? First of all, we know that x is equal to this part. We've got an x there, but it's x squared. So we can sub, let's call this number 1, this one number 2. So sub 2 into 1. That's going to give us, instead of x, let's use brackets, 2y plus 6 squared plus y squared equals 36. Okay, next thing we need to do, we've got 2y plus 6 all squared. Okay, so again, we could do this method if we like. 2y plus 6, 2y plus 6, so 4y squared, 12y, 12y, and 36, which gives us 4y squared plus 24y plus 36. Okay, so our next line, 4y squared plus 24y plus 36 plus y squared equals 36. Okay, we're going to try and first of all get this equal to 0 then. So minus 36 from this side. So we're going to minus 36 from this side as well. That gives us our 0. 36 minus 36 leads to 4y squared plus 24y plus y squared. One thing we still need to do, collect the like terms. 4y squared plus y squared gives us 5y squared plus 24y. Okay. Now we haven't fully solved them. Okay, we've got a quadratic equation now, but what can we do to this to be able to solve? Now, first of all, we can take out, so we can try and factorise this equation here. Okay, they've both got a y in common, that's it. Okay, 5's a prime number, so unless 5 or 1 goes into 5 goes into 24, because 1 will go into it, but it won't change it. So let's take out a y, so we've got 5y plus 24 equals 0. Now what does this mean? Okay, we've said before that we want either this part or this part to equal 0 to make, when they multiply, to still equal 0. Okay, so first of all, we could say y equals 0. Okay, that means this part will be 0, so there's one of our solutions for y. Our other way is to say 5y plus 24 equals 0. Okay, maybe subtract that 24. Okay, we get 5y equals 24. Divide by 5. I'm going to move up to here now. Y equals minus 24 over 5. Can we find out what that is as decimal? Well, 4 5s going to 24. Remember, it's negative. So 4, we've got a remainder of 4. 4/5 is 0.8, isn't it? Okay, so y is 0. Y equals minus 4.8. Okay, we still haven't finished our solving because we need to find out what x would be as well. Okay, so let's just make it easy for ourselves. Put it into equation 2. Then sub y values into equation 2. So x is 2 lots of 0 plus 6. X equals 6. Okay, 2 times 0 gives us 0. Okay, and then x equals 2 lots of minus 4.8 plus 6. So x equals, that gives us minus 9.6 plus 6. X equals minus 3.6. Okay, 4 solutions. Remember to pair them up. Y equals 0, x equals 6, or y equals minus 4.8, and x equals minus 3.6. With question 3, we need to expand and simplify the expression shown. So again, like the previous question, in question 1, okay, we're looking at the 7a separately, and then the plus 4a and 2b. So that 7a is still going to stay there. Okay, 4 times a gives us 4a, it's positive. And then plus 4 times minus 2b, obviously we've got the b in there still, plus times negative, makes negative. 4 times 2 gives us 8. Okay, now we need to simplify. So as our first mark for the expansion, our second mark is to simplify. We can put this in our final answer box. 7a plus 4a is 11a minus 8b. There's our final solution. Simplify n to the power of 6 times n to the power of 5. Remember, when we multiply with powers, okay, we're going to just add those powers together. So n to the power of 6 plus 5, essentially. N to the power of 11, that's our answer there. Nice, easy 1 mark. Okay, in part C, factorise 5x plus 10. Again, look at what they've got in common. So they've got no letter in common, so we're not going to take a letter out of the bracket. Okay, 5 and 10, what have they got in common? What's the highest common factor of those two? That would be a 5. So 5 times something gives us 5x. That's 5 times x. Plus 5 times something gives us 10. Just a 2. So our final solution, 5x plus 2 in brackets. Question 4 is an interesting one. There's actually 2 ways we could go about this. I'm going to show you both methods, but first of all, just the one that I expect you're probably going to go to first, which is to expand the square here. So x minus 2 squared. Okay, so we're going to do x times x is x squared. X times minus 2 gives us minus 2x. Minus 2x here as well. And then minus 2 times minus 2 gives us positive 4. Okay, so we can say that equals x squared minus 4x, collecting those coefficients of x, plus 4. Okay, our next step is to put that equation equal to 3, because we've just rewritten that left-hand side in the quadratic form there. Okay, now if we're solving, remember, this side, our equation needs to be equal to 0. So to do that, we need to subtract 3 from both sides. Okay, so it's going to make it equal to 0. X squared minus 4x, 4 take away 3 gives us plus 1. Okay, now that's perfectly fine. Look, our question asks for 3 significant figures. So it's unlikely that this is going to factorise. So instead, let's try and put it in that quadratic formula. Minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2 is that formula. Okay, feel free to write it on your paper in the exam and everything, it's fine. Okay, if you just want to jot it down so you don't forget it. Okay, that is that formula, we need to substitute in. Okay, so we're going to use this equation here to do that. So minus b gives us 4 minus minus 4. Let's do it properly. Minus minus 4 plus or minus the square root of b squared, so minus 4 squared. Take away 4 lots of 1 times 1. Oh, sorry, that should be 2h, shouldn't it? So 2 times 1. Okay, so let's try and simplify some of this. So minus minus 4 just gives us positive 4. 4 plus or minus minus 4 squared is 16. Take away 4 times 1 times 1 is just 4, all over 2. Okay, which is 4 plus or minus root 12 over 2. Now this is where we're going to put it into our calculators. Okay, remember it's 2 solutions, so 4 plus root 12 over 2, 4 minus root 12 over 2. So if we get our calculators, we're going to type it in exactly like that, 2 different calculations. So 4 minus root 12 divided by 2. So the bottom one should give us 0. Remember 3 significant figures, so 2, 6, 8. Okay, and then the top one, 4 plus root 12 divided by 2, 3.73 for that one. Okay, notice 3 significant figures. This one's to 3 decimal places, this is to 2. Okay, because actually the 0 here isn't significant, don't forget. So that's your method 1. Your solutions are going to be x equals 3.73 or 0.268. Okay, let's just have a look at method 2 as well. Okay, which you might not have thought about. Now we've got x minus 2 squared equals 3. Now what can we do to remove the square here? Well, the opposite of squaring would be to square root, wouldn't it? Okay, so if we square root here, we're just left with what's in the bracket, x minus 2, okay, equals, don't forget, positive or negative of root 3. Okay, because whatever that square root is could be negative, and once it's squared it becomes positive again. And obviously if it's already positive, then it's going to stay as a positive. Our last thing then, just to get x on its own, we're going to add the 2. So we can say 2 plus or minus root 3 for our solutions. So x equals 2 plus root 3, x equals 2 minus root 3. Let's have a look at what those answers would be. So 2 plus root 3 gives us 3.73. And 2 minus root 3 gives us 0.268. Exactly the same solutions for both methods. Question 5 is our first one to do with graphs and quadratics on graphs. Okay, first of all is a simple table of values, just like we would for a linear graph. A linear equation, we're going to do the same but with a quadratic equation. So we want to fill in these blanks. Okay, the first one, when x equals minus 2. So instead of x, we're just going to put minus 2. So we can say minus 2 squared minus 2 lots of minus 2. Okay, minus 2 squared is 4. Minus 2 times minus 2 gives us positive 4. Okay, so 4 plus 4, y would be 8. Okay. Now, when x is 1, 1 squared minus minus 2 lots of 1. Okay, so 1 take away 2 gives us minus 1. Okay, so let's see if we can do these ones ahead. So 2 squared is 4, take away 2 lots of 2 is 4 again, so 0. What do we notice? They're starting to repeat. So 8, 3, 0, minus 1, back up, 0, 3. So you might think this one will be 8. Let's check. 4 squared is 16. Take away 2 lots of 4 is 8. 16 minus 8 does indeed give us 8. Okay, 2 marks if you get all of those correct. Okay, you don't have to show that working. On the grids, draw the graph of y equals x squared minus 2x for the values of x from minus 2 to 4. So essentially, put these coordinates into this grid and we can join them up. So minus 2, 8, minus 2 on the x-axis, up to 8. Okay, minus 1, up to 3. 0, 0 is nice and easy. 1 minus 1, sorry, so 1 minus 1, 2, 0. 3, 3 is there. And 4, 8 will be up here. Okay, remember this is just a freehand curve. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, something like that would be fine. Okay, there's part B done. Part C then, solve x squared minus 2x minus 2 equals 1. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do here, okay, our original equation is x squared minus 2x equals y. So let's get all of the constant part, the numbers, without a coefficient, onto one side. So we want to add 2 to both sides, because that's going to make 0. 1 plus 2 is 3. Now, what do we want to do then? X squared minus 2x equals 3. Remember our original equation, x squared minus 2x equals y. So essentially, at what point does this line have a y coordinate of 3? Okay, so if we find 3 on our y-axis, it's here. So if we go across, we can see there are 2 points at which y equals 3. One of them does end up at 3. Okay, so we've got the coordinate 3, 3 and minus 1, 3. We can see that from our table of values here as well. Y equals 3, x minus 1. Y equals 3, x is 3. So our coordinates, we said minus 1, 3 and 3, 3. So our solutions then, x equals minus 1 or x equals 3. Okay. If we want to double check that, just put it back into this equation. So minus 1 squared is 1. Take away 2 lots of minus 1 gives us positive 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, and 3 squared is 9. Take away 2 lots of 3. So take away 6. 9 take away 6 does give us 3 as well. So question 6. First of all, we need to expand the double brackets and then simplify at the end. So I'm going to use my grid method, however you want to expand those brackets. So 5x plus 2, 2x and minus 3. 5x times 2x is 10x squared. 2x times 2 gives us 4x. 5x times minus 3 is minus 15x. Minus 3 times 2 gives us minus 6. Let's write all that out. So 10x squared plus 4x minus 15x minus 6. Okay. To simplify, we need to just collect those like terms for the coefficient of x. So 10x squared, 4 take away 15 gives us minus 11x. Then minus 6 there. Okay, part A done. Part B, factorise x squared plus 4x plus 3. So when we factorise, we want this to be done. So there's 4x in the middle. Okay, that's 2 numbers that we want to add together to make 4. Okay, so when we talk about that, we're saying the sum is going to be the coefficient of x here. And the product, 2 numbers that multiply together to give us this plus this. When there's no number in front of the x, it's just a 1, so it essentially is just that last, the constant there. Okay, so we want 2 numbers that multiply to make 3 and add together to make 4. Okay, the only possible numbers that multiply to make 3 would be 3 and 1. okay? And if we notice, 3 plus 1 does give us 4, okay? So in our brackets, x plus 3 and x plus 1.